Hey guys, welcome back. Hope you had a good day in the market. It's August 12th, Tuesday. We had CP live this morning. Market gapped up a little bit on it. We're going to view the 0-day options today. I took on SPY, a small account challenge. Yeah, I guess they like the data a little bit. So a little bit of a gap up. And now on the daily on SPY, we're at the top of the daily Bollinger. So yeah, kind of a grind. This is all-time high also. So it likes to just sit up here and never do what retail's expecting, which is it hits all-time high and then it just dumps for no reason whatsoever. This is much more typical on top of the daily Bollinger as well as all-time high, just new highs. Yeah, last all-time high was 639.84, so we're somewhere around there. So yeah, we're kind of just grinding up now. Not my favorite type of day to trade. Good for spreads or futures. 0 days, there's definitely some plays in there. We'll review them here real quick. I missed kind of the morning. I showed up about 10. Let's see. Yeah, somewhere around here. Drew in magenta at that point. And then I had white, which white was actually spot on. You see it building that liquidity right in here. Didn't fully get the cup completed here, so I was like a little bit hesitant to take the break here. But sure enough, this could have been a fine break. I didn't like the risk reward, thinking it might just hit high a day and then reject. But this actually ended up being a nice trade. I did put a limit order in to buy it, but I was just kind of greedy with it. I was like, if it fills, I'll take it. But it wasn't my favorite setup. And my line was a little bit off. This gold line was a little bit higher. So I would have taken on the break of this white, little inverse head and shoulder. And I guess you could call that the cup. Maybe the cup's here and that's the handle. But regardless, this was liquidity being built for bulls and it broke it. So I did put an order once it broke here. And then I think I canceled it somewhere around here. And then it did a red candle, which at that point it closed below my gold line here, which would have been my stop. So I don't know if I would have held through that, but I adjusted my gold a little bit just based on this resistance, then I would have seen it was still inside of it. But sure enough, that was a nice little retest there on the white, pretty close to the white at least. You're not including that wick, I guess, like that. Yep, perfect. But close enough because it's kind of an area. I don't have it perfect. Retesting the white and then also bouncing on that orange. So nice little entry there for some calls. Yeah, that's pretty much the only trade I see that I like, and I didn't even like that one that much, so I didn't really take it with much conviction because I just put a limit order that didn't fill. And then it just kind of grinded up. Never did a nice pullback, just kind of one of those trend days. So ended up getting just little pullbacks, but then it was buying in such a weak channel that it's just not pretty for 0 days. I mean, maybe if you're like in the money on them, like high delta, it's better. Or again, spreads or futures. But yeah, I mean, you have a little bit of liquidity being built here with a break. That was kind of an okay trade. The range was pretty good, I guess. So these ended up being probably pretty nice trades. I just visualizing it, I just didn't see it a whole lot. I'm like, I don't want to just be caught in just this grind. So I didn't trade any of that stuff. Came up here, identified this white potential for a tapering channel. Made nice little head and shoulders here. But again, we're just firmly in buying territory until inverse cups close at least, and we break some of these weaker buying algos. Let me see where I even trade. I can't remember now. I think I traded one right there. Yeah, I didn't trade till 209. That was my first one as a put. Let's see. Oh yeah, that was basically me just sitting here just so bored with this price action. I decided to just pour one out for the homies or give one to the market makers, since he's not getting any of my love today and my brokerage. Pay them a little bit, pay them off, keep them happy. No, I'm just joking. That's stupid. That is stupid. Where was it? It was a dumb trade. I was like, all right, shoulder. Okay, so it broke the green, and this was my thesis. It was kind of using that as resistance. But the thing is, you don't know when it's going to come down until it breaks some other channel. That would have been this white one. So that was why I was just kind of a gamble on that one. But I knew it when I opened it, so I was quick to close it. Opened it here after that doji, and then closed it Closed it right there. So just pay a little commission, 17 cents. There and back. And then I just waited. Then I made a nice little head and shoulders up here, but really nothing special. Kept grinding in this white, broke it, but still found more support on it. Realistically, you could put the white all the way down here, and that's a huge wedge. Right, if you're doing that, and like way down here. I mean, anywhere in that range, it could have been trading and still been bulls. Building liquidity, controlling the price action, controlling the selling. Next trade was... Oh, it was puts again. I wasn't trying to fight the trend, I didn't like the upside. And I thought potentially we could have, of course, a move back to VWAP or just some retracement. We did have a little one here, but this was actually end of day trade. So nice little head and shoulders here. Let's see, where was that? 345. Yeah, so it was on this trade, but it was just very late. This is actually quite a green trade. Oh yeah, okay. So I saw it come here, and I was literally just waiting for any kind of retrace, like any kind of green candle or anything. This says it opened there. I don't remember that being green, but and I was like, all right, I'll wait for it to break the white. Broke the white, never really retested it. I was like, oh my gosh. So I ended up just getting on this green, thinking this would be my stop. This white. This was it was just in the money one strike, so a little different than my usual end of day, but that's better to do end of day, just because. Yeah, the K is crazy. And so I've been using Copilot, but Copilot's pretty limited on its like how smart it is. It's good for conversation because it continues to remember what you're talking about and kind of do that kind of thing. But for actual crunching, I just started using Gemini, and that's been much better. Copilot was just like wrong on stuff. It was still helpful, but it was like I'd have to double check stuff, and I'm like, I don't really trust you. I haven't backtested Gemini a whole lot, but it seems like it's more trustworthy just with numbers and crunching data. And with that, it seems that I paid a bunch in commissions year to date, like much more than I thought. So I want to be trading less, which I know is going to be good anyways, and fewer contracts. Which will help me also higher delta. Yeah, because I think it had on my small account, which I don't even know if that's possible. Oh yeah, it could be. So I'd be green this year, 1500 instead of red. I think 500. Yeah, I'm red 500 year to date on this small account. I would be green only from commissions and fees. $2,000 in commissions and fees. So I need to double check it, but I think it could be right. And since I do enough trading, I could probably negotiate that with E-Trade. So I might be able to get a reduced rate on that. But yeah, that's crazy. That makes me just want to trade way less and never do multiple contracts unless it's, you know, I've got to be making way more than that. So anyways, with all that, that's why I got a higher delta on this one. Because if I got one strike out of the money, I would have had to get multiple for it to make any sense, because it was like 15 cents, which is just too cheap. So that one didn't really decay. It kind of cruised through here. Coming up on the 10-minute move, we had one candle that retested here, and I'm like, oh boy, here the next candle is 10-minute. It comes in, we get a flashy red, and I closed it. So I know how that 10-minute is, and I'm not trying to be greedy. So there's the trades today. I'm actually green $7. Again, just not my favorite setups. Happy to just sit on my hands for the most part. That first one, $1. Second one, $8. So 345 to 350. Close it on that 10-minute red one. Of course, if it came all the way down to VWAP, I would be sad, but just seeing the way it worked and how it didn't break any sort of levels and was just kind of dancing there a little bit, I'm like, I gotta get out of this. Because I knew it could do something crazy. It's been in a grind up all day. They don't want to pay out any puts, so it's just kind of intuition. Like it's a little late in the day, and VWAP's pretty far. If VWAP was much closer, potentially I'd have more conviction to the downside, especially since it broke this white. And that's why I did it in the first place. I'm like, it broke the white, had the head and shoulders, but VWAP was too far, and I just want to jump out, take the profits and run. So little green on the day, closed it there, and that was it. And then it came up here, and I was like really thinking about going long, and I'm so glad I didn't. I could just kind of tell, I'm like, this is total greed, just wanting to take it long because it broke this white, and it's just like, I shouldn't. It's just not a good idea. So happy I didn't. tiny profits I would have given back. Also, if Gemini is right, my data on trades is kind of interesting. So my percentage is actually, my win rate's actually kind of, I think it's kind of good. Problem is too many losers, not win rate. Yeah, win rate. Too many losers and just too big of losers is what it is. I think that's what too big of losers. Yeah, my win percentage is 60%. Average win is 68. Average loss is 106. So yeah, my losers have been too big. I'm not sure if it's exactly right because that seems like high numbers altogether. But yeah, I don't know. The count's been small the last, I guess, couple months, so this seems big. But I guess earlier in the year when we had more balance, I was swinging a little bit more. So yeah, just need to tighten up the losers and just trade way less because yeah, my win percentage though, I was surprised it was over 50%. So it's not from my accuracy, it's just from my losses being too large. And yeah, so kind of interesting. From here, I don't know. We're just up in no man's land. We're gonna have a pullback at some point. Here's Eric's 30-minute. Grind up in the green. Now we're kind of tapered to this orange. We've got 5-day down here. There's actually still a gap down there too. There was the previous all-time high. We'll see. There's some liquidity here. It's hard to know. It very well could test the bottom of this orange before we keep moving up. If it breaks, I'll be looking for an inverse cup to close with today's low, and then 5-day bouncing for support or flipping into resistance. Nice liquidity here if this is a shoulder for this head. Otherwise, might just kind of melt down to this level, have all this liquidity up here, then to grab for an inverse head and then a shoulder to keep up in this channel of buying. Thanks for watching, guys. Sub up, like up, comment down. Happy money sticks around. Peace out.